All right.
Fuji go hot in the beat. Stopping in, we been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy. Yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
What's going on, everybody? Back in full effect. It is the Heavyweight Bros. It is today, Tuesday, March 1st. You know what I'm saying? First day of the greatest month in existence. It's really not, though. It's the complete opposite. I am your host, as always, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. To my right is the high yellow hitman, Coach Buck, the freaking dicky, my man, Uncle Raisin. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Fabulous.
That's it.
That's it.
I was like, all right.
Man, I'm good, man. Everything's coming together, man. Like I said, man, I tabled some stuff, got back to it, diced it up, got through it, kept it moving. You know what I mean?
What does that even mean? That's like the most Vegas thing like I've heard in a long time. What?
Because when you think about it, it's like, man, that's kind of deep.
Is it? Because it seems like a shallow than a puddle.
Nope. It's definitely as deep as an abyss.
Okay.
How are you today?
No, I'm doing all right too, man. Like it's a lot getting back into the workflow.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like today kind of went back towards the norm.
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean? Was that funny?
It's like the norm is like the norm of like shenanigans or just like
no, but I would say more or less just like my level of tired and stuff like that. Like it's like, all right, like I feel like I'm already like I'm getting back in the swing of things, like time's moving the way that it's supposed to at work and stuff like that. Cause like you know how like sometimes you'd be like, yo, like it's got to be like at least like 11 o'clock. And you look at the time and it'd be like, yo, 8:45. And you're like, how? Stuff like that. But it was like, no, today it was like kind of like the opposite where I was like, man, what period are we in? I was like, yeah, what are we in? Like second period? And they were like, it's fourth period. It's about to be lunch. I was like, it's about to be lunch? I was like, okay. I was like, I like these type of days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That April vacation gonna come quicker than you know it. You're like, okay, we back out here.
That's I was like, you know, like a lot of my friends are with it right now. Or I should say one of my friends is with it right now. And it was like, you know, like it's like I don't know about you, but like sometimes for me, like when someone else is flourishing, like it brings my spirits up. I'm like, yeah.
Always. I call my brother son because he shine like one. I love it.
Okay. All right.
I love it. If you don't like to see people around you glowing up, man, then you're just a hater in general, man. And you're not the type of person that people should want to be around.
Jeez.
Like, for real. I told a kid today, don't be an anchor. He was like, what's that mean? I was like, do you know what an anchor is? He was like, yes. All right. I mean, this is supposed to be the Raisinet, but it's whatever.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's cool.
Is it wrong to put a Raisinet in the beginning?
Nah, let's get to it. I told him, don't be an anchor. He was like, what does that mean? I was like, do you know what an anchor is? He was like, yeah, it's that big hook thing. I was like, yes. What is it used for? He was like, it's like stops the boat from moving. I was like, yes, the boat literally is held in place and cannot proceed because the freaking anchor is holding it back. I was like, stop being an anchor in all your friends' life. Straight like that.
Man.
Or
I feel like a lot of people are getting dropped this season because like people are realizing that they're anchors too.
Ooh.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that going on.
And all y'all gonna be floating at the bottom of the ocean like, what are we doing here? Blub blub.
Wonder why your life's on standstill.
Man.
I wonder.
Man. I like it, man.
This is how we're starting off today. What type of body? Right now. Bang. We just busting shots.
Getting through it. All right, we'll get to it, man.
It's almost like you're waiting for something to like turn around. Like the quick turnarounds you get from over at my boy JID at Custom Merch. At IG and Etsy, put in that promo code Heavyweight Bros. That's HW, the number 8 BROS. Get you 10% off your order, and then you can look swaggy like us. Because the more you spend,
the more you save.
Is this a G-head hoodie?
This is another G-head. Another G-head
right
here, man.
It's a T right there.
It is. Do you know who this is?
Yes, I do. Don't tell me. It's whatchamacallit, dude from Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah. It's whatchamacallit. Don't Fred Hampton.
There you go.
Yes. I was like, oh my God. I was like,
good
please.
job, my God.
I almost said Bill something like a million times. I was like, Bill, no, Billy, no, William, Bill. And I was like, damn it. I was like, what is his name?
Somebody came to me earlier at work and was like, that's Reverend. I was like, nah.
That's Benny the Butcher.
Oh shit!
Yeah. He's literally looking at Butcher coming. But it's like I just kept trying to play the trailer in my head. I was like, it's Fred Hampton for the Black Panther Party. And Daniel Kaluuya
actually wasn't too bad. It's way better.
It's been a while since I dropped it.
Way better than Jada.
I used to always come back to Jada. Is that my worst impression?
Yes.
You haven't heard about James McAvoy. We'll get there. It's my worst, but it might possibly be my best.
That is hilarious. All right, we got anything for digging in the crates?
I don't think so. I did listen to the Conway album.
What'd you think?
I thought it was like super solid. Like I didn't.
Diggity, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. But it's like I went through the album twice. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's like spectacular in any sense of the word, but like there's a couple songs on there where I'm just like, oh my goodness, like
it's Conway.
Yeah. There's one of the songs where he's like specifically talking about like, you know, like his cerebral palsy and like, you know, like everything and like the situation that put him in there. And it's like he does it very like often. Like
is that the one Stressed?
No, I don't think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But it's like it was like the whole time, like lyrically all the way through, I'm like, wow, like this is like storytelling like at its finest. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know, the track is kind of like stays on like one note and it doesn't really go too high or too low. Mm-hmm. So like it doesn't really stand out like that. It's like one of those ones like when I first went through, like I heard it, but I didn't listen to it. And then the second time I heard it a little bit more and I was like, oof, like I was like, he's really going off on this
Pain.
One. Yeah, I think it's pain. I think that's what it is.
Pain. No, I mean that's what you feel in the bars is a lot of pain.
That's not the name of the song though?
No. If it is, then that's dope.
you just pulled that out of your yin yang.
Oh yeah.
Also, like this is like a mixtape, not an album, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of features on this.
Really?
Like, you know what I mean? I was like there's Rick Ross, there's Lil Wayne, there's
I didn't hear either of those.
Are you sure you listened to the right album then?
I didn't go through. You know me.
Oh man, come on, bro. Like when we say we're gonna review albums, like that's how we call it. Like
I mean he's still getting the streaming views because it's on his page. It's just like I don't be on the whole album.
Right, so the album is called God Don't Make Mistakes. Mm-hmm. He's got Beanie Siegel, which is on the first song.
That's dope.
Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, 7th Avenue Genius, Jay Skis, T.I. Awful. Novel, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, obviously Wallow. The song with Jill Scott is surprisingly super fire.
Is the one Stressed.
Yeah, surprisingly the Jill Scott one I thought was super fire.
I like the way that sounds.
What?
Just having Jill Scott on the track.
Dude, she's doing kind of like I was about to say Lauryn Hill, but it's really not Lauryn Hill. It's more like how like when Mary J raps on songs, but she's kind of like sing rapping, and it's like she's like super smooth on it, and like I had to be like, why does this sound so familiar? And I looked at the thing and it was like Jill Scott. And I was like, that Jilly Scott going off on this right now on a Conway track? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, it might be.
Is that Jilly with an I-E or a Y?
Nah, it's Jilly because Jelly don't sing like that. You know what I'm saying? But the song.
Jill, feel free to come on the show. We'll be your guest.
I wish I knew which song it was. And it's like, I don't want to start just playing songs. I think it's the God Don't Make Mistakes, the last song. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
And stuff like that. But it was like, I thought it was super thorough all the way through. I thought like the artists that he chose for the most part, like were like they seem to
match well.
Yeah, like he seems like he picked them purposely, like for the songs that they had him on and stuff like that. And like Lil Wayne has been on quite a tear on his verses or his features. I know I talked a while ago about like the Busta Rhymes being like the feature Hall of Fame guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, you know, like I feel like he's the first person that comes to mind. And then I was like, you know, I believe Ludacris belongs in that camp. I know you hate that I have to bring him up every podcast for no reason.
It's okay, that's your guy.
But like,
I bring up Jay-Z all the time.
But whatchamacallit, like Lil Wayne, like he took that mantle and like ran with it for like the longest time. Like it was like if Lil Wayne was on your song, like it's not your song anymore.
Right.
Like he was doing whole mixtapes on other people's beats, and people would hear the real song and be like, why they copy Lil Wayne? Like this is whacker than the Lil Wayne version. And then like another person is like J.Cole. Like he's been on this crazy run of like features and stuff like that. And like I love to see it. And like I think Lil Wayne gave him another solid one.
That's what's up. Okay.
But that was it because like there was no albums that came out from Sunday till today.
I seen I didn't get to listen to it yet, but I seen Earthgang dropped another song.
Oh.
Yes. Oh man, I can't remember the name. I gotta find it because if I don't, it's gonna bother me all day. It is for real.
But it was like I can't remember like what the name of the last one that we watched, but it was super solid that they did too.
It's called Water Boys.
Water Boys?
Yeah, it's featuring JID and JCole.
You said you did listen to it, or you're going to listen to it?
All right. but it's featuring JID and JCole.
So you already know. I understand.
So I wanted to leave it for later because I wanted to be able to. I didn't want to rush through.
You want to marinate in it,
right? I didn't want to rush through it and be like, "Oh, it's fire," and I didn't really get through the bar. So I definitely want to.
I gotta listen to it in the whip.
And I like, definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
I like JID, and you know what I mean. And him and Cole haven't been on something. I feel like it's been a minute. You know what I mean? So with Earthgang, like,
no, much good. Do you listen to like when they dropped the Dreamers mixtapes?
But how long ago was that?
2019, 18?
Exactly.
But it's like, but I think Cole's been on such a steady stream that it's like, it's easy to forget that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then it's like, I think JID last year dropped the album or mixtape.
Yep.
So like, you know what I mean? It's like, they're still relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, look at us finding something to talk about when we had nothing to talk about.
Like, I'm gonna force a conversation. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, no trip.
Social butterfly over here. All right, so we can go right over to Insomnia TV.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
From the nothingness inside.
Match your energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Match my hustle. Don't be my anchor. Be my rudder.
Oh, yeah. Let me try to raise it right quick, man.
Don't be my anchor. Be my rudder.
Oh, man. That's how I put raisins in the potato salad, man. It's true.
You can be stuck on standstill if you want.
Everything around you is sinking sand.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. You better learn.
Man.
You better learn. All right. But, yeah, so I know you're about to be mad when I say this, but I'm one episode away from the finale of Euphoria.
So this is the number one thing I wanted. I was just like, yo, on a Tuesday pod, we gotta talk about the Euphoria finale, and you not there, bro.
So you haven't been in these shoes before?
I'm not saying that.
Okay,
but it's like
go back
this is like
a couple episodes.
This is like the number one most talked about thing right now. Like the only thing I could even equate that is when I wasn't up on Ozark, and I wasn't
Snowfall.
I wasn't
Bel Air.
I wasn't up on
Reacher.
This isn't the
Peacemaker.
No. This isn't the. First of all, I watched Peacemaker before you. The Snowfall. Right. This is the intro, not the finale. And Ozark, I only didn't watch it because you made me watch Your Honor. So get up out of here with all that.
Mayors of Kingstown.
That wasn't even a current show at the time. That show was been the best. Like, and also, you made me watch Your Honor instead of Mayor of Kingstown.
Listen, man.
And did I bang that joint out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still ain't trying to hear it though. Are we trying to act?
How far are you into Euphoria?
I got 2 episodes left.
And how much are you enjoying this ride?
It's pretty crazy.
Is it a great recommendation that I gave you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm like,
yeah, I got to filter through a lot of nonsense and stuff that I like. I don't know why this needs to be in the show, but
okay.
You know what I mean? But I like the plot. I like the story.
Whatchamacallit? Is it like I said, like, you know,
me elevating to something?
No, what I'm saying is like, you know, like I keep a running tally. I'm like, all right, this is my number one show so far this year. Like, is it in your top 10 list right now?
I mean, I don't have 10 shows that I'm watching right now. We'll say 5.
Is it in your top 5?
It might squeak in.
Might?
Yeah, it might squeak in.
What do you got above it?
Bel Air's ahead of it.
Bel Air's above Euphoria?
Yes, I love Bel Air, bro. I love Bel Air.
I actually really, really, really like it. Bel Air too. It's in my top 5.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, Euphoria is definitely growing on me.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Don't put me on the spot right now.
All right.
Just to break the bars down.
Okay. All right. A lot of these people, though, I do feel like we're going to be seeing them in other stuff soon.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like there's a superhero casting for some of these people coming up. And if and
I don't know if this is true or not. Remember how I said Fesco like when you were like, who's your favorite character? I was like the Mac Miller type dude.
Yeah, everybody. That's what I said. I was like, yo, you hate Mac Miller?
So what I was told, and I don't know how true it is, but that Mac Miller was going to get cast in Euphoria before his passing.
I had no idea if that's true.
Either. I have to research it too because I won't say the source that it came from wasn't credible, but
it's not credible.
It's not like a news site or something. It was like word of mouth. You know what I mean? So you always got to look into those things. But
I don't trust that.
I think Fesco is definitely going to get a spot on something.
Oh, 100%. Whatever his spot is on the thing too, I will be there.
Right.
Like
what you call I think could easily get a spot too. Ashtray can definitely get a spot.
Ashtray can Yo, have you ever seen his videos? Apparently he's like a world-class like gymnast.
Nah,
and there's like mad videos of him like training, and he's doing like 6 backflips into like an axle and stuff like that. And he's like landing mad perfectly. And I'm like, what is that?
Because when that man hopped that couch with that hammer, I was like, did he kick to 2 spots in one move? Yeah. And it was like, kink, kink. I was like, whoa.
I've never seen someone do so much with so little words that they use, like, and they're not a mute.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like, he don't really say much, but he gets a lot across.
Oh, yeah.
And Fez, a man who doesn't really raise his voice, be like, nah, I know what you thinking.
Right.
Like, oh, don't be.
She was like, that was his first blind spot. I was like, when's the next one?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
So on Saturday we're gonna have the Euphoria finale talk because like I got to get that off my chest.
I got you.
All right,
I got you for sure.
What did you watch? Have you watching anything?
Snowpiercer.
Okay.
Bel Air, of course, but we're all caught up on that.
Yep.
I think that's it.
All right.
I think that's it.
I hopped on a new show. Well, it's not a new show. It's a bit of an older show, but it's like it's new to me because I obviously just started watching it.
Okay.
It's a show that's been on my queue for a long time, and it's Barry, starring Bill Hader. He used to be on Saturday Night Live. He played one of the cops in Superbad. Like it was Seth Rogen and the other guy.
The one with the glasses?
Yes, that's Bill Hader.
Yeah,
he's super funny.
The one who was doing the dance at the party, like
yes. Yeah, I was worried when I was gonna bring it up because I was like, Raisin's not gonna know nothing that this dude has been in, and I'm so glad that I got one off my first two.
Yeah, you should have started with Superbad because when you said Saturday Night Live, I was like, so many faces.
Because like that's his main thing. Is like he did Saturday Night Live for years. Like, you know what I mean?
Superbad before Saturday Night Live.
I'm with you because I don't really watch Saturday Night Live.
They was in the living room like. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But so the show stars Bill Hader.
Okay.
He is a professional hitman. He's actually one of the best hitmen in like the U.S.
Okay.
So like he kills people, stuff like that.
That's what a hitman does.
Yep. But he ends up going to. I don't think this is a spoiler. So like he gets a contract to kill this guy, and upon going to kill this guy, the guy is actually an actor taking acting classes, and he gets kind of like thrown in to like the class. Like people think that he's like he's trying to like, you know, survey him and stuff like that. So they think he's a part of the class. So he winds up getting thrown into the class, and he winds up falling in love with acting. And like, he wants to be an actor and he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. But it's like, is
this a comedy?
It's a comedy, but it's serious at the same time. Like he's like a legit
a comic thriller.
Yeah, but he's like a legit hitman. And it's like stuff happens. So then like he gets to the point where like now, like he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. He wants to just be an actor. But because of the way that he was going about his contract, like now those people want to take him out and like, you know, stuff like that. So it's like, and his acting coach is Henry Winkler, the Fonz. Yeah, he's like, yeah, the coach from The Waterboy, like that's his acting coach. Hysterical in this show. His handler, like the guy who like, you know, is the in-between for him to, you know, get his contracts and stuff like that, is the guy from Office Space. He's like, can I get my stapler? That's his handler. He is hilarious as well. I'm so glad you knew who I was talking about. So you know what I'm talking about.
Happening on this
You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But like my favorite character, and it's like the thing is, if you haven't seen this one show, I don't know what other show that you would know him from. But he was on the show Gotham when they, started to remake the Young Batman story. He plays Victor Zsasz in it. And it's like he's like an albino, I don't know,
you're wasting your time.
Not albino, but it's like he has like alopecia, so he has like no hair on his body. He plays like this Bolivian, he's like the second, or he's Chechnyan, but he's like the second in command to the head of like the Chechen mafia, like people who send him after to go kill that guy, stuff like that. And like, he's so hilarious. Like the way he talks, he's like, come on now, Betty. Like, we need you. He's like, come on now, be polite. We're good guys, right? You like me, I like you. You got to kill him. Just take him out. Looks like that. It's just like every scene that he's in, he does it. That's his accent. I swear, no, anybody that watches it.
What nationality is that?
Chechnyan. It's like Russian.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, yo, like, I think the I don't think the show is like from my understanding is season 2 is like where it really, really takes off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm on season 2 now. And it's like, season 2 is already way better than the first, but I love the first season. Like, I was like, I don't know how to describe it because I'm like, it's not 100% a comedy because it's not like, oh, they're like trying to give you like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like trying to give you jokes per minute. But it's like the situations that he gets caught up in, it's just funny. And it's like the acting class that he's in, like all the actors are like terrible actors. So it's like to watch them try to act around him and they're trying to give him tips and stuff like that. Like, it's just funny. And it's like, he's like I said, like he's a hitman and like he's a very like straight-laced guy. And it's like, you know, like they're just like, oh, we're doing this scene from this movie. Have you seen it? And he's like, I've like never seen a movie like ever. And it's like, you know, he doesn't get comedy, but for some reason they think he's hilarious and he's like not doing anything type of deal. It's like, I think like you would enjoy it. Like, it's pretty good. Okay. It's on HBO Max.
I was about to say, what platform is it on?
It has 2 seasons. Each season has 8 episodes, so it's only 16 episodes.
How long are the episodes?
Oh man, why are you treating me like I'm the rookie?
My bad.
Wait, I'm the rookie? Well, my features in my show 10 times you pay? Nicki Minaj. Yeah. But what you go? They're half an hour episodes. So it's like, really, are you before right now?
My bad. Yeah, the Nicki impression.
Do you like it? Is it a good impression? I can't stand Nicki Minaj, so like I feel like I have to do like her impressions all the time. In the race to China, the pink vagina. What are you talking about, yeah?
Nicki, go on.
Whatever you want. Told them, like Lamar, Odom, Abal, Scrotum.
We'll be your guest. Come on in.
Star, Sheriff Badge. I love out of here. I can't stand Nicki Minaj.
My bad, I'm sorry.
The fact that people think she's better than Missy Elliott drives me up.
Yo, that joint tickled me. All right, so Barry, it's on HBO Max.
The 30-minute episodes, by the way, if you didn't hear.
30-minute episodes, that's actually not bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's like bad. I've plowed through it. Like, so I think I started watching it.
I could go Euphoria, watch a movie, all right, we'll see what happens.
I think I started watching Barry Saturday. And then, like I said, I'm already like almost halfway through season 2. Like, it's like Tuesday. I know.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's real easy to watch. Like, you sit down and bang out 4 episodes, like in like an hour and a half. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else,
that's really all I'm watching. Like, it's tough right now to come up with shows.
Okay. Well, you did something for Insomnia Hour, and I ain't have nothing, so I'll do something for Popcorn Papi, since I'm pretty sure you have not been to the movies in a while. I know it's hurting.
It is.
It is hurting. It is. You'll be all right though.
I think I'm gonna watch that. The Murder on the Nile movie is gonna be like the next one that I'll. Why you doing that?
I don't know. It just doesn't sound interesting.
The thing is, like, I saw the first one, the Murder on the Orient, where it's like on a train.
We did talk about this, right?
I think we just talked about it off camera. I don't think we talked about it on there. And it's like, that movie wasn't the best. Like, it's like, I like thrillers and like mysteries. Like Knives Out is probably like one of the best examples of like what it's trying to be, and it's just not that. Like, it was like a little bit too boring. And it's like, you know, like they have the detective and he's just like, there's a murder here, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you who did the murder and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay,
somebody does a voice like that, I think of Hoodwinked.
Of all the movies, not Pink Panther, like nothing like that, like Hoodwinked.
Nope. I'm at Hoodwinked.
But I think that's gonna be my next one. But like, don't let me stop you, because don't stop pocket Popcorn Papi. What did you wind up watching?
So I watched 2 movies. The first one was, oh man, what was it? I just had the name. Oh, Blackhat. It stars Viola Davis.
Okay.
And the dude who plays Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
This is a new movie?
No. And that's why I'm looking at it like,
why are we talking about this
when did this movie get made? Me and Lou was halfway through it, and I'm like, the graphics doesn't seem too modern. Did they want to go with a nostalgic look? And I go back out, it was made in 2015, but we had to finish.
We're talking about 2000. Like, we're watching, like, just talking about old movies out here now?
Yeah, people look for movies to watch when they chilling.
Is this a cultural gem?
No.
Why did it get why is it on your queue? Is it like new to Netflix or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. It was one of those, these are new movies, and you were like, oh, let's check it out. And then afterwards you realized it was an old movie.
It was an old movie, right? Gotcha. So Thor plays like, I'm gonna keep calling him Thor, sorry.
It's easier than Chris Hemsworth.
Right. So he's like a hacker, and this national tragedy is happening, and he's trying to find the person who's responsible for stealing money and causing the tragedy through the hacking. And it wasn't a bad movie. But if you Keep it moving.
It's really like no, it wasn't worth it.
There's very little Viola Davis in the movie, so
that's what sells the movie for you is Viola Davis,
right? So there's very little Viola Davis in it. It's really pretty much Thor, and I feel like in 2015 this is probably a good movie, but wifey likes.
I don't know, man. Like I don't know if you remember what movies were out like in 2015, but I think if you went back and looked at them, like there were some bangers.
Like
then.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this movie did. There's a reason why we didn't know about this movie until now.
So I know wifey likes like Law and Order, suspenseful thriller, type investigative, like who really did what.
Oh, who done it? Like a mystery,
right? So she was into it. So I was into it because she was into it. But after that, we watched a movie that I should have got to a while ago, but I didn't, and that was Beckett.
The hell is that? What movies are you watching?
Yo, Beckett's not that old. I think Beckett's only probably about a year old. I think it released on Netflix too.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Is that what you watching now?
I watched it on Netflix.
Okay.
It stars Denzel Washington's son. What's the old boy's name?
John David Washington.
There you go.
From
Tenet. There you go, the dude from Tenet. I've never seen Tenet, by the way.
You're missing out, man. I would love for you to watch it, for you to try to tell me what's happening in Tenet. Like that's what I paid for.
I just felt like it was a bad representation of Inception, so I was just like, I don't want to watch this.
I want you to watch this movie so bad, so that way we could come on here and I'm like, so now you watch Tenet. Can you tell me what happened? Because like I swear on everything, this is during when COVID first started. It was like the first big movie that came out after COVID and stuff like that. And I went to the theaters and I brought my brother and I brought my cousin and like we watched it. And I was just like, wow, like that was pretty good. And then like my cousin like leaned forward, and before I was like, yo, before you even say a word, I was like, if either of you try to tell me that you understood what happened in that movie, I don't believe anything that you had to say to that. They were like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but it was fire.
Yeah, backwards to move forward, so you can go forward and backwards.
Bro, it is like it's there's like a certain point where you're just like, I don't understand what this is. It looks super dope. It's like, yeah,
listen, that's the reviews I got from everybody, and I was literally like, this movie probably did good because it's the first movie out of the pandemic. It's kind of like you haven't seen women in 20 years, and the first woman you say, marry me,
fresh out of jail,
marry me.
You go to the truck stop, and it's like, damn,
your hips got hips. But yeah, so the movie Beckett is definitely a suspense thriller.
So John David Washington
and it stars, without spoiling too much, I mean the movie's been out for a year, so but it is a good watch. I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it together. But he basically is like in I want to say Argentina. I could be wrong, but he's somewhere in a remote place where him and his wife are like on vacation. They get into a car crash. His wife dies in the car crash. And then all of a sudden, people are trying to kill him, but he doesn't know why. And he spends the entire movie finding out why they are trying to kill him. And it's like political ties and money ties and mobster ties. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that's pretty crazy. And by the time you get to the end, you're kind of like, wow, Dad, this is crazy. And like all this dude wanted to do was mourn his shorty. And
are you getting into spoiler territory?
Kind of, sort of. So
relax.
I won't do that, but I will say it was a good watch. It was more impressive to me than what I thought, because it also had been in my queue.
I'm glad to know that we could just watch literally any movie and talk about it on this pod. Like it doesn't have to be a curve.
Right.
We just say like, hey, I saw Set It Off yesterday. Let's talk about that. We could just do that.
Queen Latifah in it.
We could just do that. I don't know if you guys heard of Jada Pinkett Smith.
Her and Jada and Vivica Fox. Oh my goodness.
A stellar cast.
Right.
No one knows what TT's real name is. Nobody knows. But everybody knows she's TT.
Oh no, she was in the Medea movie.
Everybody was sorry, a bad black woman.
She was in the Medea movie, and she always cries and like her tears get caught on her top lip and don't go nowhere. Stop.
She doing the sniffle. Like, you ain't gonna do wrong, buddy.
Yeah. Tell Tim I won't be coming home this Christmas.
Who does a better sniffle cry, her or Viola Davis? Like Viola Davis' snot bubble is iconic.
I'm standing here with you. I'm going Viola all the time, bro. I'm going Viola.
Fences got you.
I'm going Viola all the time. I've been standing here with you. When she hit that man with you ain't think I wanted to look. It's like, yo, Viola.
Have you seen what you call it? Her movie Widows?
No.
So like, I don't. Like, let's not go too deep into this movie Widows, but it's like it's a heist movie that Viola Davis and like Michelle Rodriguez. It's a bunch of females. That like,
you sure it's not called 355?
It's not. So like Viola Davis's husband in that movie is Liam Neeson, and it's like Liam Neeson and a bunch of his boys were a crew that were like pulling heists and stuff like that. They die.
I did see it. I did see. No, I didn't see it, but I know the premise of the story. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but like. Yeah. I felt like everybody was like, "Oh my god, this movie's excellent."
This
stuff
is
like
the
that.
Perfect plan. They didn't finish the plan or something.
I thought this movie was butt cheeks. Like the whole time, I was like, "Wow, this movie's awful." Wait, did you see it? Or did you not see it?
Yes, I did. Okay, I did see it because I remember the plan about the robbery and it wasn't done yet, and how the ending happens. And I was just like, yeah.
And the thing is, like, I remember being in a theater and like 4 or 5 people gasped. Like when the twist happened, and they were like, and I was like, "Oh wait, you guys are still invested in this? This is crazy." And I was like, "And this twist isn't even that crazy."
I'm just here for the free popcorn.
I was like, "Yo, like I'm telling you, like I don't really like slump like this in my chair, like when I'm watching a movie, but like it got to that point where it's like I'm watching, and then it's like, oh, this is the heist, like you know what I'm saying, like because like if there's one thing Joel loves, it's a good heist movie, right. And I was like, this movie is a heist movie and doesn't have a good heist at the end of it, and I was like, oh,
you should watch Money Heist too. We won't get there. I won't invest you in 5 seasons of a TV show.
I am looking for another show to hop into though.
Money Heist.
I know. So like I think that might be one of them because there's like 5 seasons of that joint, right? You keep trying to get me to watch it.
Bella ciao, Bella ciao, Bella. All right, we're sorry, but yeah, Beckett's a good watch, man. It was worth the time.
That was a really random popcorn Papi. I gotta throw that out. Like there's like nothing. Like here's a movie from 2016, a movie from a year ago, and then Widows. And I'm like, what was that? Like that was like the wildest 12 minutes or however long that was. Like, oh dude,
but it was informative. Somebody's gonna watch one of these movies and be like, oh shoot. 2015.
I keep hearing like a lot of the girls I talk to, like I'm just like, oh, like what are you watching? They're like, oh, I just finished watching that Madea movie. I'm like, you guys are still invested in those?
Right.
Like that was like I saw that on Netflix. I was like,
did you know Madea done leveled up?
What do you mean?
Like I heard there's all types of F-bombs and MFers and all, like not in the Madea movie. I was somebody called me, was like the first few lines of the movie. It's like this mother. I was like, not in the Madea movie. Tyler, what have we come to, man? What have we come to?
All right, we could cross on over to the Hardwood Check-in. The hell's so damn funny?
Say Tyler Perry crossover into that R rating on his films.
I wish he'd cross over his wig department to a professional wig department because I'm just be looking crazy.
Yo, did you see the picture somebody had? It's like he was dressed as Mary J at the halftime show.
No, I did not see that. No, I did not.
It was like Madea J. Blige or something.
No.
Yeah, it was like, it was terrible.
You think Michael Jordan looked at that picture? Was like, I've never seen a back pat like that. Like, that's crazy.
He was shuffling cards. All right.
You know how like you ever seen the Boondocks episode where they do like a Tyler Perry episode?
I've seen all of the Boondocks. Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm bald and I'm dark skinned and I'm angry. And it's like, why is all his movies like that? Like all the villains are dark skinned men that have AIDS or something like that. They always got like
so many icons. I'm about to rewatch all the seasons because
all the seasons of what?
Boondocks.
I thought you were talking about Tyler Perry movies. I was what? And then you said seasons. I was like, you about to watch House of Pain?
My wife's never seen the Boondocks before, so it just gives me a reason to watch them all again.
That's great. I'm happy for you.
Oh yeah.
What platform was that on? HBO Max, I think, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, and you got to have like the upgraded subscription to watch it. Like you really trying to get paid. Like I can't watch this on the other joint. Now you ain't gonna. I'm not gonna stream it on yours at all.
That sounds like a problem for the person who pays for HBO Max.
I'm definitely on a plan that ain't mine.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is like,
thank you.
I'm like, hey, I got Hulu, I got Amazon Prime. Like you do that. You know what I'm saying?
You the real MVP.
Yeah. I was like, this is fair, right? You got Netflix and HBO Max, and I got Hulu and Prime.
Listen, my son watches the pod, right? So he knows we've been talking about Bel Air. This man come lean over my shoulder last night, like, so what's the Peacock subscription? I'm like, man, if you don't get them Birdman hands away from me.
Number one startup.
Right. It's like, I gave it to him, though. I mean,
you put some respect on his name.
Out all them episodes. So I'm serious laughing. He was like, yo, Carlton's wilding. I was like, I told you.
I know, we know.
All right, we'll get right into it. My bad, we segued. But first things first, man. There's some controversy.
Peace, Uncle Phil.
Oh, he switched it up.
Father that
he switched it up. He's about to be single father if you keep that light skinned brother away from his wife.
It's a dub. It's a dub, bro. Like, I don't think you realize, like, that's been like the number one thing that like I've been talking to people at work about. And like I'll just be like, yo, you watch Bel Air?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. And I'll be like, all right, that's cool. Can I tell you about this situation? And I was just like, and then I would bring it up and I'd be like, yo, like she goes to this art dealer. It's Michael Ealy. And everybody goes, oof. And I was like, see that right there? That's why you can't do it. She'd be like, oof, that's a beautiful man. That's a beautiful man.
Whenever somebody rubbed his chest,
I was like, they felt that with their heart. They felt that with their heart. Ooh, baby.
That's what it's in their soul.
That Michael Ealy. That man been fine all his life. And I was like, exactly.
Yo.
And I was like, I wouldn't even feel no type of way. I'm like, I get it.
And the crazy thing about it is like and not to segue too much, my bad, but it's like he always plays like the vulnerable.
Is that the best type of life? The most light-skinned thing you could be.
Getting it out the mud, trying to come up with my own ideas type of
Wasn't he in a Tyler Perry movie? Like one of those, like I'm a gardener type of deal? Like, you know, like
I think it was
I'm a blue collar
or
worker.
A cook or something like that. I think
that was the Kevin Hart joint where he's like he wants to be a chef and he opens up the food truck.
Yes.
And Shorty doesn't believe in his dream with him. It's Taraji.
Right. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. He was like, don't worry.
Weird couple.
Don't worry. You don't need to believe in me.
But I was like, oh, this brother looks like this and he cooks amazing meals. He was feeding her and they were like, I was like, all right.
I oil my skin with the bacon.
I'll tell you right here, right now. You look like Michael Ealy and could cook amazing meals. You could have no job. They do not care, bro. You are living.
Taraji didn't care because she was paid. It's like, give up on this cooking, bro.
No, she dissed him for a minute until he got his food truck though.
Right.
Not in these streets. Let me tell you, that brother, he be up there quick. So what's
Taraji with a food truck?
What does Kevin Samuels say? That's a high value man right there. That's a high value man.
Yo, we're not getting to Kevin Samuels. All right,
we gonna turn into Kevin Samuels. We'll run on the Kevin Samuels corner. But we gonna watch it. Let's talk. Ja Morant.
Yo, the rumor is they started to change them votes from Embiid to Ja Morant, bro.
I actually have the NBA releases. Like I think it's like every 2 to 3 weeks. Like they do their updated MVP rankings.
You know, the first thing I do is I compare rosters.
Okay.
And Ja Morant is doing a lot with not a lot.
They're not whatchamacallit though. Like, let's not pretend like that roster's trash.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the roster is very young.
I'll give you that, but it's like they're good young players. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it.
Like, because
I get it.
The Pistons have young players.
I get it.
They're not like the Grizzlies young players.
I get it.
So this is the NBA's MVP rankings. Number 5, Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Joel Embiid. And number 1, Jokic, who I have been believing is the MVP. Mind you, this was done February 25th.
Man, DeMar's in the MVP running. That sounds so crazy.
I love it because, like, I don't think you understand how many people I've had to argue about DeMar DeRozan being good too. Because, like,
not me.
Because this is what. I know this is going to go off on a little LeBron James tangent. This is going to go on a LeBron tangent.
Go ahead.
But this is what happens. Teams are really good, and everybody knows the teams are good.
Mm-hmm.
The second that LeBron James beat them, they're not as good as everybody thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's what people used to do to those Raptors. Like, those Raptors would win, like, 60 to 65 games a year, be the number 1 seed in the East, and then get smacked by LeBron. And they'd be like, well, they're just the Raptors. Mm-hmm. It's like, these Raptors have been smacking everybody all year. Mm-hmm. Now LeBron sweeps them, and they're trash.
Right.
And, like, I've always been like, no, DeMar DeRozan is nice. Was he Kawhi Leonard level nice? No. But it's like, why are we trying to play DeMar DeRozan like he wasn't one of the, like, 5 best shooting guards of, like, the last decade? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was always that.
Right.
And then he went to the Spurs, and everybody forgot about him because they went to the Spurs to die.
Right. Yeah, that was terrible. I still think Ja Morant should be in this conversation.
Yeah, like I said, this was from 2 weeks ago.
Right. And it's not just because he just dropped his crazy 50 burger.
The game before, he dropped 40-something.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like 42.
But the way he got the 50 was crazy. Like, he's hitting half-court threes. Like, he literally did everything amazing that you want to see in a game.
Yeah.
So he had the half-court, I think it was a buzzer beater.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it wasn't. That was the other shot. So he hit the half-court 3.
Yep.
He dunked on somebody's neck, something crazy.
Jakob Poeltl.
And then Steven Adams throws a full court bullet into the corner of the other side of the court. This man catches the ball in the air and shoots it at the same time at the buzzer while falling out of bounds and makes the shot at the buzzer. Like, come on, man. Like, he gave you 3 different moments all in one game and still drop 50 on them.
This is
out of control.
This is a quote.
And they needed the whole 50.
They needed all.
They needed the whole 50.
This is a quote that my favorite author, Shea Serrano, dropped on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to say this on the pod. He goes, it's crazy that if someone this morning said, hey, you have to see this Ja Morant highlight from last night. I can't believe the shit. It was like a once in a career kind of highlight. Mm-hmm. And you would have to say back to that person, which one are you talking about? That's how wild Ja Morant has been.
Right.
He's been getting compared a lot to Derrick Rose's MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
Like just by the way that he looks and plays. A lot of people will be comparing him to Russell Westbrook. I think Bill Simmons went as far as to say, and he put a lot of like, let me get this out. Let me say it first.
Okay.
He's like young MJ when Michael Jordan used to like first came out and he was getting to the basket and like he was doing all the stuff. He's like, is this not the same level of excitement like you would see? He's wrong.
Man, I just be hating the early comparisons, man. Just let that man be Ja.
It's been
and it's crazy
2
because
years?
It's been crazy because and I think you shared this post with me where he said what guards he studied coming up.
Mm-hmm.
None of them were MJ.
No,
but they were all point guards or /2 guards.
Mm-hmm.
So he said Steve Nash, Chris Paul, Penny Hardaway, AI, and I'm missing one.
You asking me?
There's
no way you're going to be able to search that up in time.
I promise you. Go ahead and talk about something and see how quick I get this.
But I'm glad that you brought up AI because I don't know if you saw, AI posted a picture of his MVP trophy with a Ja Morant jersey wrapped around it. And I was just like,
word?
Yeah, and it's a really, really fire picture. And like, and he was just like, he wrote something of like, coming soon or something like that type of deal. And like someone posted on Twitter and they were like, yo, people could have had to say a lot of things about Allen Iverson. One thing they'll never say is that brother is a hater.
Facts.
Allen Iverson don't hate on nobody. Allen Iverson loves, you see him at the end of the games hugging everybody.
Facts.
You ask him about people that he played with. He loved everybody. Yo, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant. Like that. He's like, these are my favorite players.
Facts.
Like Allen Iverson has never been a hater. And I think that's one of the reasons why.
You were right, I can't find it.
I think that's one of the reasons why we don't have him doing like analyst work. Because like it's really hard because when you become an analyst, like you have to start to become super critical, and it's like you can't even make your place as an analyst without having like really hot takes, and it's like a lot of that comes with talking down on people, and I feel like AI can't do that. And like I think Jay Will kind of compared Ja Morant to Allen Iverson. And it's like I don't really see that from him. You know who I see Ja Morant as, and it's like it's really hard. I think people forget about this, but when John Wall first came out. And like when John Wall was like really, really like, it was like, yo, he was that guy before he started getting hurt, before Bradley Beal came around. It's like, that's who I see a lot in it.
I can see that.
Is that the best comparison that you've heard? Or like, do you think like the Derrick Rose and all the other stuff is more relevant?
I like the T-Mac comparison.
T-Mac?
Yeah, I heard,
Yeah, I never heard that one.
Yeah, it wasn't on like ESPN or nothing like that. Just kicking it with the fellas and one of the dudes like, I watched Ja Morant. I feel like I get a T-Mac feeling. I was like, okay, I guess, young, raw T-Mac when he first like.
I would just say Tracy McGrady shot more. That'd be my only thing. Is like he was much more of a like, I'm going to come down.
He was a better shooter, yeah.
Bang!
Yeah, but the height difference gave him that too, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So.
Kobe Bryant once said that Tracy McGrady can do everything that I do, and he's 3 inches taller.
Right.
So it's like.
Right. Man, that was a good quote to bring out right on time. But yeah,
it was
definitely
because Tracy McGrady is better than Kobe. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, I ain't no Kobe. I'm not like pro Kobe.
All I gotta say is, if you tell me that you traded Kobe Bryant for Tracy McGrady don't have the same amount of rings, if not more. That's all I'm saying. What does Kobe's magic look like? That's all I'm saying. Well, what was the next topic? Was that a wild take?
I think so. But we'll see what happens in the comment section. Somebody's gonna say something crazy.
First of all, let me tell you about 18-time All-Pro, All-Star.
You said the message I sent you earlier when he was like, somebody send you a passive aggressive email. It's like,
per your last email.
As reiterated. So yeah, next topic. Are the Celtics legit?
So first and foremost,
this one's for you, B. Mizzy.
We have to talk about why this came up. And the Celtics are on a wild win streak right now.
Right.
They have won 14 of their last 17 games.
Right.
I know that they just lost
on the schedule for that.
I know that they just lost to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Pacers they're a tricky team.
I know, because I remember I brought it up a few episodes ago when I was like, are the Pacers legit? And you were like, no, they're not legit. And 2 episodes later, I was like, my bad about the Pacers. And now here they are beating the Celtics.
But they're just one of those teams where it's like they got all these guards now, and it's like if you don't know what's going on, like they can surprise you.
I know.
They also lost to the Pistons like by 1 point. And I watched that game because a lot of my friends are Celtics fans. Right. And I was like, I'm a Pistons fan.
Right.
And I was like, I can't believe we just won this game. Hey, but it's like for the most part, like the schedule was like a little it's a ho-hum stuff like that.
Keep it all the way real. They better get a high seed, because if not, they're gonna be the first round bye for somebody.
As they stand right now, I believe they're the 6th seed. It's not high enough for you?
No.
I don't think so either.
You mean the top seed is top 4.
Yeah.
Because the top 4 play the bottom 4. So that means
what do you think about it? You got Nets,
you
got Heat, Bucks, 76ers.
All teams that will beat the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's just the top 4. We haven't even gotten to like that 5th team or whatever. And it's
okay? I think you look like it was dislocated.
Nah, I was like, we were talking about because my fingers all messed up. Like over
oh shit! What in the?
You've never noticed?
What in the mutant powers is going on?
My finger's been like this for years, and you've never noticed?
Don't do that again.
Do what? This is how my thumb is. Don't smack it. Don't you?
Is it really? Don't.
My thumb has been like this for years, bro.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, like this is how I've been roasting you on the Xbox.
I'm not going for that, bro. That joint looks. You can stop holding the hand like that. It's not like that.
What do you mean? My hand's always been like this.
Fam, I'm not playing with you, man.
Talking about this joint right here.
Stop.
It's always been like that.
It's like, I'm not. Are you serious? Because I
have a joke,
but I don't want to use the joke.
Good, use the joke. I'm not sensitive about it.
You over here looking like dude from Scary Movie.
That's an easy one.
Dance.
My good hand. Let me just lick this right here. Before we get super duper off topic.
Like you walk around like, not the mama.
All right. Now we're talking about dinosaurs. That's what we're doing now.
All right, my bad. All right, so Celtics are not legit to me. I don't care if they won 27 out of 28 games. Like, if you're not in that top 4 to where you get to play a bottom tier team, you're going to get bounced in the first round, because none of them top 4 teams are you going to beat.
So the biggest.
Right, so you got to say who's in the 4th place right now, because 4 plays 6, right?
5 please. 6 plays 3. But just real quick, like I just
6-3.
One of the reasons why the Celtics have been on this crazy tear is like they've been like with like hands down the number 1 defensive team for like a month.
Okay.
Like ever since like these trades were made, and it's like Derek White only helps that.
Okay.
Robert Williams has kind of figured out like what he's doing in there, so it's like that's kind of just what I'm getting at is like, is their defense good enough that like their weird offense could somehow work and they could win some games?
They would play the Sixers. If the playoffs started right now, they would play the Sixers.
Okay.
And they would die in the first round.
What do you mean? Why would they die?
Huh?
Why would they die?
Because they're not going to beat the Sixers.
I mean, but like if
you got 2 MVPs on the team, or 1 potential and 1 MVP.
If Jaylen Brown locks up James Harden,
who is guarding Joel Embiid?
The Time Lord, Robert Williams.
Who is guarding Joel Embiid?
Daniel Tice.
Who is guarding Joel Embiid?
Grant Williams.
Who is guarding Joel Embiid?
Taco Fall. Oh, he's not there no more.
Oh, he's gone. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap.
Who's guarding Jason Tatum?
Tobias Harris.
I completely forgot Tobias Harris.
Right.
Who's guarding Jaylen Brown?
Nah, he'll get canceled out by James Harden's 40 points.
Marcus Smart could guard James Harden. I'm sure he'll piss James Harden off. I've seen Marcus Smart guard Joel Embiid.
I actually like that matchup. Your best defender against your best offensive player. I like.
And I think Marcus Smart would love that. Right. The only problem is like every time that he gets a steal off James Harden, he's definitely chucking up a trash 3 right after.
Okay, but I'm gonna say it like this. Let's say Marcus Smart does stupendous, and he has gotten his scoring up a little bit. Him and James cancel each other out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jason and Tobias cancel each other out.
That's how Is that how low you're rating Jason Tatum, or how high you're
No,
rating Tobias Harris?
I've said it before. I believe Jaylen Brown should have been the All-Star instead of Jason Tatum.
Mm.
He's been carrying more than Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum's been having a fluctuation. He's kind of reminding me of like a Latrell Sprewell or J.R. Smith, where like he has these really big highs and then these really big lows, and when the Celtics need him, he's not always consistent with being there, and that's how you get critical.
I feel like you could say the same thing about Jaylen Brown, though, and Jaylen Brown has a lot less.
You know why? Because he's giving up shots to Jason Tatum, who's throwing them joints off the back of the rim.
This is the man who wanted to trade Julius Randle for Montrezl Harrell. So like maybe we shouldn't take all your basketball to heart.
Take it for what it is, all right?
But like I think I agree with you though. It's like I don't think they're a contender.
Nah.
It's like they would have to get like super lucky. Like I'm talking about like Kevin Durant gets hurt again, Kyrie doesn't play. Chris Middleton is completely nothing for the Bucks, and like it's up to Drew Holiday and Giannis to carry up.
Can you consistently score 120 points a game and hold another team to 80?
Because like the team that's like almost just like them, but just does what they do better is the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're super great defensively. Their offense, they're a lot more. Especially like Lowry's been hurt, so like Lowry will definitely when he comes back in, he's gonna get everybody the shots that like they need and stuff like that. And it's
Miami has more scorers. They have more guys who can score the ball.
Yeah. I can't believe we spent that much time talking about these Celtics. What's the next topic?
The Hornets signed Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
I did not even know he was back in the G League, bro.
Yeah, he's been in the G League.
So I knew he got the contract with the Lakers.
He signed 2 10 days.
2 10 days.
And then they just.
But I never heard anything after the second 10 day. I just figured that they kept him. I didn't know he was back in the G League.
The first 10 day, like he did outstanding. And I think, I can't remember if Russell Westbrook was hurt or whatever was happening, or LeBron was hurt. So he was doing like a lot of the scoring and stuff like that. And then the second 10 day, like people started coming back. And then like it was just kind of like
he was like 0 for 24.
Yeah, it's like you're not doing it no more. They sent him back. But I was going to the Hornets. And like to me, like that's weird.
Isn't that homecoming, right? Wasn't he with the Hornets already?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
Oh my God! Like I feel like this whole pod, you on your phone, bro.
That's hey, we want to make sure to be accurate here, right? We want to make sure to be accurate here. Come on now, go ahead.
You don't think I'm accurate enough?
You said you don't know. That's not accurate at all.
I said I don't think so. That's good enough. But like, he's been back into the G League and he's been averaging 46 points per game in the G League.
No. Oh yeah. Well, he was doing that before too. Yeah. Going something crazy. Yeah, right before he got signed by the Lakers, he was averaging like 30, 40 points a game and going crazy. They were like, who's going to sign this man?
And now he's like doubling it up. But my thing is like, I don't know why the Hornets want him, because like the Hornets have LaMelo Ball, they have Terry Rozier, they have like all these guys, Book Knight.
Bro.
What?
All right, so listen.
These are all the teams that Isaiah Thomas is playing with?
Yes. Are you ready for this?
All right, can I take some shots?
Yes, go ahead.
Sacramento Kings.
Was the first one.
Phoenix Suns.
Second one.
Boston Celtics.
Third.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
And then after the Cavaliers is the tough one. Washington Wizards.
He was the Wizards, but there were 2 teams before the Wizards.
Memphis Grizzlies.
No.
Atlanta Hawks.
No, you were doing so
well.
Oh
man, I had it too.
You were doing so well.
But he definitely played for the Wizards and then Los Angeles Lakers.
So he went from Cleveland.
Yep.
To the Lakers. He was at the Lakers twice.
Okay.
So he went Lakers, then Denver. Then
Washington. That's where I was getting the Grizzlies from.
So aren't you so glad I looked this up? See, look at that.
No, but at the same time, like, yo, why would I know Isaiah Thomas?
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, come on now.
So I thought he was. The mistake I made is he was with the Pelicans.
Okay.
He was with the Pelicans, and then Grand Rapids Gold, and then the Dallas Mavericks.
Don't laugh at these team names.
I'm sorry. Yeah. The Dallas Mavericks, and then LA Lakers.
I don't even remember him playing for the Mavericks.
And then back to Grand Rapids Gold. It must have been another 10-day. Because this is all in the same year. New Orleans, Grand Rapids, Dallas, and LA back to Grand Rapids is all 2021.
Yeah. And
then 2022 was Grand Rapids to the Lakers and the Hornets.
Yeah. I mean, I love to just see Isaiah Thomas win because, like, you know, like the way that his career,
I like Isaiah, man.
The way his career went, it's just like I don't want him on my team. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, do you agree with that?
He would help them young boys, man.
No, like it's just, like he's one of those guys where it's like, oh, Isaiah Thomas played last night and like he dropped 26 points. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad to see Isaiah Thomas like still putting up numbers. Right. And then they're like, your team has interest in Isaiah Thomas. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't sign Isaiah Thomas. Like,
I mean, at one point, that man was carrying the Celtics, bro.
He was
carrying.
I really liked that Celtics team too. That was the Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder. I think it was Amir Johnson, and then Al Horford. And it was like they were giving like LeBron a run for his money. And then he came and he played in the playoffs the day that his sister died, and he dropped like a 50 burger on him and won the game. And I was just like, this guy has my heart forever. And then I think he said something. He tweeted out like, "Yo, bring out the Brinks truck for like his contract," and then he got traded. And then like Danny Ainge did him filthy, boy.
Of course, because that's the type of person he is, and that's the type of team the Celtics are. I don't even know why y'all still root for these guys. All right, it is what it is.
Only suckers still root for the Celtics.
You know he gonna hit you for that, but you know he right now. He's like, oh yeah, tell your boy Joey
whose
Crack.
favorite player is LaQueen.
Tell your boy Joey Crack. He might get straight to you. He might even send the message for me.
I also want to say this. LeBron James has never been my favorite player. Like he's never at any point in time was I like, oh, my favorite player in the league. Just like the LeBron James. It's like no, because like I'm like, how are you gonna sit here and tell me that this guy's not the best? Like you know what I mean? Like and I'm talking all time.
So the next one for me is hilarious.
Okay, what's the next one?
Because I feel like we had a debate about this character before, and you were trying to super defend this guy, and I was like, no, I'm all set. But that man, DeAndre Jordan, just got cut by the Lakers.
Whoa, defend DeAndre Jordan?
Yes.
Do you not remember? Like, I was like, it's literally an abomination to my eyes.
Oh, no, it was Dwight. Maybe it was Dwight.
Oh, yeah, Dwight Howard's my guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so.
But I was like,
DeAndre Jordan definitely got cut.
Yeah, he did. And like that's what we're talking about is like when the season first started, I was like, and if I have to watch Anthony Davis next to DeAndre Jordan, I'm gonna throw up. Like it's one of the worst.
You don't have to because that man got cut, and and Anthony Davis' whole body is broken.
Good Lord.
Guess what he signed?
Like
you think they release somebody, you gonna get a big, right? Nah. You gotta go get something that you lost and replace it.
They got my 2K equivalent, DJ Augustine.
Yo, this was the most lopsided thing I ever seen. Like we get rid of DeAndre, we're gonna go grab DJ,
the smallest guy.
Right? Like I'm hoping like this is like for cap space or something like that. I don't know what this was for.
I think if I read it correctly, they want Russell Westbrook to play off the ball more.
Okay.
So like, and they want to bring in some shooting, so that way, like, you know what I mean? Like it balances out like a little bit. Like DJ Augustine, like he's a steady point guard.
I just want to know where they got him from. Like where was he? Like
he was a free agent, bro.
Got the crib chilling.
he just got subbed out for Isaiah Thomas the other day. Like
that is hilarious.
He had to guard him.
That is hilarious. That reminds me of like so I watch a lot of other pods.
Yeah.
And man, was it Pivot? I think it was Pivot.
Okay.
That did a interview.
Well, I gotta say, better than I Am Athlete.
I'm liking Pivot more than I Am Athlete. Sorry, Brandon Marshall. Sorry, Ocho.
And the thing is, like, I didn't like Channing Crowder like that, but for some reason, I like him better.
I told you. Shannon and Fred, man, they be getting it, man. But they had Raheem Morris on there.
Are we Channing Crowder or Fred Taylor? Is that why you like it so much?
I don't know.
After I just called Channing Crowder ugly mother, because I'm just like, I'm Channing Crowder.
Good job.
He was a Dolphin for quite some time.
Oh, look at the connection. But they were interviewing Raheem Morris, and he was talking about how he called who's the safety that the Rams had?
Eric Weddle?
Eric Weddle. And he was like, he called Eric Weddle. He's been at the crib chilling. He just called him and was like, it wasn't even a long conversation. He was just like, are you fat? He was like, nah, I'm in shape. He's like, all right, come on out. So that's kind of the conversation because DJ Augustine was kind of already like 5'5" by 5'5". You know what I mean? So it's like.
Why are you trying to play him like he's Raymond Felton?
Nah, he wasn't that bad.
No.
He wasn't that bad.
Raymond Felton is the fattest point guard I've seen in a long time.
DJ Augustine wasn't like he wasn't like out of shape. He's just like a real low to the ground, stocky type dude. So it's just like
I don't think we're talking about the same DJ Augustine because DJ Augustine is a pretty slender guy, like if I remember correctly.
Bro, that man, I don't know, in that the Magic jersey, this man, if he was out there, he's
You thinking of Mike Bibby? Have you seen Mike Bibby recently?
I've actually ran into him in the airport one time.
What?
Yeah.
Like new diesel Mike Bibby?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he was like, I think he might have been with like his AAU team because he coaches not AAU, but he coaches like some premier high school or something like that.
Okay.
So he had like the school memorabilia on. So maybe he wasn't with the players, but he just had the school gear on. Like, I know Mike Bibby looks small on the court. That brother's not small in real life, bro. Okay. Like, my brother, I want to say he's like 6'1", 6'2". And then, like you said, he put on the new muscle. This man was walking around looking like
he looks crazy. Like, his neck is gone and stuff like that. And then, like, I think he tried to play for the big three, and he almost put the ball through the backboard.
Yeah, that's right. Like, bam! It's like, man, I ain't got a shot up in a minute. I was like, yeah, this brother's looking crazy. But, yeah, so they signed DJ Augustine. I still think the Lakers are going to be trash. Like, them brothers.
Dude, they're the 9th seed right now.
They just lost to...
whatchamacallit? They got blown out.
Pelicans. Somebody beat them by 30.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is. Do you want me to look it up, or you want me to say?
No. Just what you call it. It's not. It's not important.
It was somebody that they shouldn't have lost to.
Absolutely not.
It might have been OKC or something. But literally, when they were showing the clip, the other team was throwing up mad bricks and getting the offensive rebounds and finally got a layup off of it. And I was just like, this looks so terrible. But hey.
At the same time, though, like they're going to be like a 9th seed, right? Who wants to play them as a 9th seed?
Nobody.
That's what I mean. It's like, is Phoenix
still have
that
LeBron James,
is Phoenix
regardless.
that confident that they'll be like,
they don't want to play Phoenix first round.
No, but what I'm saying is like Phoenix is the number 1 seed. Yes. Like, is Phoenix that confident where they're just like, we'll play the Lakers? I could care less.
Yes.
Like, they don't care about anybody that they play. Like, they're that confident?
Yes.
What about the Warriors?
They learned from last night. Yes, the Warriors are confident. They're good.
What about the Jazz?
A little shaky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
little shaky. Little shaky.
The Nuggets?
Little shaky.
That, and like,
they don't got
this is the reason why I think Jokic is the MVP. Mm-hmm. He's putting up stupid numbers right now in Denver, right? He is the team right now, I believe, is 5th in the Western Conference. He hasn't had Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. this entire year. Mm-hmm. He's literally been playing with like scraps, and like these dudes be balling. Mm-hmm. Like they're like I said, like they're like the 4th or 5th seed, and it's like their record is still like they're won like 36 games already or something like that. And I was like, this is crazy. And this man is.
And I made an early comparison before the NBA started. Somebody shot me down. He will remain nameless. I ain't gonna come at your life right now on the pod. I'm not gonna use this platform for that. But I remember when the Lakers was loading up, and I was just like, I know y'all got LeBron. I'm not completely sold. Y'all are likened to the Portland Trailblazers when they had that crazy loaded up roster, and it got them to the playoffs. And I think they lost in the first round.
Are you talking about like a year or two ago?
No. I'm talking about years ago when they had Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace.
Whoa, no, they made it to whatchamacallit. They made it to the Western Conference Finals, and then they lost by the whatchamacallit, by the Shaq alley-oop.
There you go.
Remember?
There you go, yes.
That team went super far. They were about to go to the finals.
And then they crumbled.
I mean, Shaq and Kobe did stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I get it. But I mean,
it was one of those things.
You had an 8-man roster, and you lost to a couple guys.
I don't know.
I know these couple guys with Shaq and Kobe. I know I'm not downplaying Shaq and Kobe. I'm just saying.
I don't know if you remember that game, but it was one of those games where it was like, once one thing started to happen, you're just like, oh no, and then it's like, oh no, and it's like, wait, hold on a second, and then it's like, and then Kobe throws the infamous, which I swear to God he was throwing a shot up, and Shaq got it, and he dunks over him, and it's just like, I can't believe that this just happened. And it was like they couldn't buy. Yes, yeah, like the players just couldn't buy a bucket. They couldn't hold on to the ball, and it was like these dudes just couldn't miss. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't believe this happened.
Another year, you trying to prove you could do without Jordan, and you couldn't, because he did have that 1 year in the Bulls where he didn't have Jordan. He lost to my Knicks.
He went to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost in the 7th game.
Okay,
but like that's my thing is like that's what happens to a team without Michael Jordan. What happens to a team without LeBron James? Where do they go? To the lottery 4 times in a row. That's the difference between the two rosters. Just throwing that out. Sorry that it always goes back there.
My goodness.
Yeah. Sorry that it always
goes
What's the next
Up next, we got Kyrie. So
right.
New York is planning to lift their vaccination ban.
Yep.
Which is kind of whack.
But it's also
because I was just in Times Square with wifey, and all the places we wanted to eat was like, you got no card.
Oh, you needed a card?
Yes.
So you couldn't just have your mask.
Nah, you had to have proof of vaccination. Oof. Yeah, so it was like some places it was kind of sketchy where you could just be like, I think we should just walk in. But wifey was like, no, I don't think we should try it because they're gonna be like, get out of here. But there was a couple places where there was a dude in there with the black suit jacket and the black t-shirt underneath. He was like, coming in 3 at a time, show me your cards, please.
Hey, hold on there, big fella.
Right.
I'm like, yo, don't big fella me, man. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand whatever somebody big fellas
like your pinky is right above my belly button, bro. Like, cut it out. Get your hand off of me.
Chill out, bro.
Right. But no, so even though they're lifting the ban, the word is that Kyrie still will not be able to play.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't get all the facts on it. I'm unclear why he doesn't meet the standard. I don't know if this, and Kyrie's going to come up with some propaganda to throw at everybody to think about. But it's just like the thing for me is why not? If you're lifting the ban, and this is the reason why he could not play, why can he now not play? So you're telling me you're going to let people in to watch the games that are not vaccinated, but the guy who's not vaccinated, who plays the game, cannot play the game? It's just weird to me.
Just real quick.
Okay.
Like this is somewhat to do with what you're talking about, but not really anything to do.
Okay.
But if we want to talk about like two players that had the same stance at the beginning of the season, and one person's season went one way and one person's season went another way.
You talking about Aaron Rodgers?
I'm talking about Andrew Wiggins. Remember Andrew Wiggins was like, I'm never going to get vaccinated. And they were just like, nah, brother, you got to get vaccinated. And he was like, damn, they're going to make me get vaccinated. Brother was an all-star starter. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving.
He really wasn't.
He was an all-star starter, bro. Like, you can say whatever you want. He got voted in as an all-star.
Right.
As a starter.
He had his little 1-3 and kept it moving.
And like the Warriors are number 2 in the West. The Nets, they got beat by the Celtics by like 40, I think. So like that.
It was something bad.
It was crazy. Like I remember like I was like at a bar watching it and I was like, this is tough to watch. I was like, I think we put on like Poetic Justice or something. I was like, yeah, what's something else on? I was like, this is hurting my feelings.
Yo, shout out to all the kids who are wearing Poetic Justice hoodies with Tupac.
No, do not shout out these kids.
And don't know who's on it and doesn't know that the movie on the sleeve is the movie that Tupac was in. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
To get back on point, because I don't want to get into what these kids are wearing and how much these kids upset me. But it's like it does sound whack. And like I have not read into it. Have you read it? You haven't read into it either.
No, I literally just said the headline, and I felt I'd throw it into basketball because it was pressing. I just don't get it. It doesn't. Even if I read the article, I'm still gonna say it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. Like you're lifting the ban. I can't play because of this, and now you're telling me. All right, so I go to the club and I got on something. Hey, you can't come here like that. Why not? Because you need to have on slacks and shoes and a button up. All right, so I go get slacks, shoes, and button up. I show back up and you're like, you still can't come in. Why? Just cause. Like what? Like come on.
No, I get it.
Come on.
It seems pretty unfair, and it's like I know that like I'm pretty hard on Kyrie because like I'm not his biggest fan, and I think that like the way he carries himself is super annoying and stuff like that. But like I do think that this seems and sounds pretty unfair to him, and like I gotta do more research. But it's like at the same time, it's like I feel like he should be playing right now.
Yes.
And it's like the Nets need him.
He is playing. He just needs to be playing at home.
Yeah, and it's like the Nets need him right now because like they are struggling like quite a bit without him, and like KD's still not back yet. I don't think
timetable on that. I haven't looked into it.
No, but like it's funny that you bring that up. So like now we talk about Ben Simmons' timetable. Next week, March 10th, is the Philly versus Nets game.
Okay.
I feel like they're purposely not letting Ben Simmons go so that way he cannot play in that game. And like, I think it's crazy, but at the same time, I don't know if I disagree with it.
What do you think James Harden does to the Nets?
Oh, he's going stupid like cuckoo bananas. Like I don't know what other word. And the thing is, like I feel like
is it in New York?
I think it's in Philly. No, it's definitely in Philly.
Does Kyrie guard James? Oh, that would be so crazy.
Kyrie will get his ankles toasted if he guards James Harden.
So will James, though.
I don't know. Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm
neither one of them is going to play great defense. They both going to score 50. And it's
Kyrie Irving's a better defender than I think people give him credit for, though.
No, he's a better defender than James Harden.
I mean, that's not saying much. But James Harden has come leaps and bounds as a defender than what he used to be.
You have to, because if you don't, then you're going to smolder away in this league.
Yeah. He's definitely like, he was almost like what they call a glass cannon, where it was like he's all offense and no defense. But it's like he's definitely like
a glass cannon.
That's actually like a video game reference.
I'd never heard it before.
So like it comes from Street Fighter.
Insult somebody like that one day, like man, you know all that jazz. You ain't nothing but a glass cannon.
What you call it? Street Fighter 2, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Akuma.
Yeah.
He's the
legend.
He's considered the first glass cannon because he's such a beast offensively, but his health points go by fast. Like that's his whatchamacallit. So he's always been known as like the glass cannon, and like every video game has a character that's like that, where it's like
you can't never get to that cannon because that man Akuma.
That's what I'm saying. Akuma was like, give me that 1,000 pain of death and all that.
Right. And beat your face off with the man bun.
and it gives you the hope and like phase through you. And you think you're doing something, he just phase right through your joint.
He's like, I'm all set.
Yeah, like that's kind of like what James Harden used to be, but I think he's become like even an above average defender. Like he's still not good, but like he's like he can play D-net. Excuse me, like he does get like quite a bit of steals, like rips on people and stuff like that. Like I don't know, they'll probably throw Matisse Thybulle on Kyrie Irving anyways.
Who?
Matisse Thybulle.
Oh yeah.
So like. But I think that's really honestly something that's happening. It's like they're just like, we got to hold out Ben Simmons until we get past this Philly game because it's like there's so much that can go wrong, and the only thing that can really go right is like we get a win, and Ben Simmons plays well. But it's like there's so many things that can go wrong that it's like I wouldn't put him out there either.
The good doesn't the bad outweighs the good.
Yeah,
absolutely. If this doesn't go right, his confidence could be shattered. And speaking of shattered confidence, little homie came back to the court for the first time in a long time.
Who's that?
That boy Markel Fultz.
I thought you were talking about you for a second. Like,
no,
I was like, you hadn't played?
No, that jersey is not only hung up, it is nailed to the wall, plastered behind a glass case of Unbreakable. The little hammer that was like, break if necessary, do the hammer away.
Like, oh, that's awesome.
It's over. It's over, man. All right, we pouring cement in that joint now. But yeah, Markel Fultz is back, man.
Yeah, I know he's been out. So I think he's been out since January 2021. He tore his ACL. Like that's how long he's been out. So it's been a year. And he scored 10 points in 16 minutes. And like to me, like there were some good looking baskets. Like there's not a lot of like like him looking crazy or nothing like that. And it's like I've always rooted for Markel, stuff like that. Like I didn't think
shout him out.
Yep, pray for Markel because they set a shot. But it's like I never thought he should have been the number one pick that year. And I think the fact that he was the number one pick put a lot on him. And like, what's up with Philly where it's like guys can't shoot? Is this like Joel Embiid is the only one that's immune to this?
I think somebody about to lose their job because
the shooting coach in Philly has to be butt cheeks, right? Because it's like you try to tell me the two people under your watch, two young guys that you had to bring up, were Markel Fultz and Ben Simmons, and both of them
they was playing defense and dunking the ball, getting layups, and they were sitting back like, "Yeah, we did our job."
Yeah,
they shot that free throw. I was like, "We might be in fire."
Oh no! Like that's like a.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm happy for the young boy too, man, and I think he's still really early in his career to where he can bounce back and be something tangible to a good team. He's got to get out of Orlando. A lot of people got to get out of Orlando.
What's wrong with him in Orlando? I actually like the Orlando pieces. Like I think they're solid. Like going both ways.
Okay. Wow. I'm not about to argue the Orlando Magic. I'm not about to do it.
I think the Orlando Magic could be like next year. They could be like next year's, like Chicago Bulls. Like how the Bulls kind of like where everybody's like whoa, like all of a sudden like what's going on. Like these are kind of like the forgotten toys, and then it's like like I think they're good enough that like you think about it, like Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaacs, Wendell Carter, Mo Bamba, like they have like a bunch of people like that can play. It's just like they're all still projects.
Who's that veteran leader?
That's the thing that they're missing. They're needing the DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So next year is not pliable.
Could be Russell Westbrook. Or is he going to New York with Zion?
Nah, man, I'm on to new things. You got me happy, so I believe James Harden and Zion are coming over. That's the world I'm living in until my heart gets broken.
Maybe Julius Randle leads the Magic somewhere. Like, who knows? You guys get Cole Anthony. He play
Cole wanted to go to New York anyway.
Yeah, he can play his
Cole wanted to go to New York anyway, man. He know where his daddy played. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. All right, so I know that you have been checking in with some of our loyal viewers.
Yep.
And you promised them that you would have something special for them today.
I don't know if it's something special, but we're trying out a new segment.
There you go.
Right. I did ask around to a lot of like
new segments are special.
I guess so.
First time.
I reached out to like a couple of my female friends. We were talking about. I was like, listen, like we're looking for some more content to add to it, especially some more female friendly stuff. So I was like, what are some things that you like to talk about? I got a lot of good responses back, and like we're kind of workshopping a bunch of them. Well, first of all, we're workshopping a name for the segment because I was like, oh, the love connection, stuff like that. I was like, I don't know, dating 101, like all of that stuff didn't really hit. What?
Yo, your response was like, what? I was trying to find something that goes with a song that you would enjoy singing.
But whatchamacallit is like a lot of the stuff that they seem to want to talk about is, you know, dating advice, dating comments, relationship stuff like that. So we do have one.
Okay.
That I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm still workshopping a name for this segment, but I think I got a song. You ready?
Just for the ladies.
Love. There's so many things I want to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how.
going
And just leave it
for
just like that. I was gonna go all the way in. Because like, you know, because once you hit that next love, you're in the song now. You're just
usually
going.
so y'all, we don't have copyrights.
Yeah, like
sure.
I don't think we can go to it.
Y'all been tripping, man.
So like maybe we'll just do the love and just leave it at that. All right.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is. We'll figure it out. I just thought you was going for it, man.
No, I wasn't gonna go for it. I wasn't gonna put all my effort in there.
Like,
It was a long day of work, bro. My voice is a little tired.
Okay. All right.
But so like
one for today is
the first topic that came up, and I thought it was a pretty interesting one, was ghosting.
Okay.
So like I think first and foremost, like we gotta say like what is ghosting? And ghosting is kind of like when you just stop talking to a person and you just give no excuses, no responses, and you just cut all ties.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier now because like in social media, you can just block that person's phone number, block them off social media, and then you don't see them no more. Mm-hmm. But back in your day, when you used to ghost somebody, because like I know, so like to give a little bit of to give a little background,
mm-hmm.
You've been married for
16 years.
16 years. His brother's been married. This is pre-2000s. What year is this?
Gang.
What year did you get married?
Huh?
What year did you get married?
2005.
2005.
17 years in June.
Man, Kevin Durant wasn't even drafted yet.
Facts.
That's how long you've been married.
Some people wasn't even alive.
That's crazy. I am single. I'm in the dating game, so like it's all part of the thing. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, have you ever ghosted anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
I have ghosted and been ghosted before.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Back in the days, we had different names for it. We just call each other a skeezer. You know what I mean?
That was it. She's a skeezer because.
Oh yeah, I got a homie right now. I call him LKS, low key skeezer. He's a low key skeezer. Now we call each other a slime ball or something like that. Like he's a slime ball. But yeah, it happens. It happens. I mean, especially when you're young and you're navigating the world, and as not to quote Coming to America, soiling your royal oats. You know what I mean? It's just that happens.
Why would you not quote Coming to America? I feel like anytime you could quote Coming to America,
they're still recovering from the dumb idea of making part 2.
I still haven't seen it, and like
don't.
Every time I go on my Amazon Prime, it's in one of my things. It's like, you want to watch this. And I'm like,
Don't.
I kind of do, but Raisin really hates this movie.
Don't. I just hate it because it's not a good movie and it ruined a good movie. But either way.
All right, go ahead. I really keep seeing this like ball spot right here, and I can't stop touching it.
Stop lifting your chin up.
All right, you're right.
I get it though, because the last couple episodes I had a little nappy daps under here.
The nappy daps.
Yeah, and Wifey was like, I see you messing with him on the show. You gotta get rid of those. So they get a little meat. You know what I mean?
At least we know she's following and listening and subscribing.
Oh yeah, real one. Real one. You don't stay
together
what you're
17 saying,
years like that.
To get back on ghosting, because I know like we're running a little long and we're trying to.
Yeah.
So like, why do you think people ghost? I have my ideas, but it's like I kind of want to hear like, or why did you ghost? That's a better idea.
No. Why do people ghost?
You don't want to go on why you ghost?
Man, we are not. Listen, and for anybody who this conversation may relate to, I was young, I was dumb. I apologize. I'm a different person now. All right. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all live wonderful lives now. Okay. All right. So there are several different reasons. So if I had to name like a top 5, I would say the person got interested in someone else. You were not what they were looking for.
I think that should be a little bit higher.
Yep.
Do you actually have a top 5, or are you doing all this at the top of your head?
Just top of the dome. Just
because I feel like you're leading up to a number 1.
I am.
And then at the same time, I don't think you have a number 1.
I do have a number.
Oh, you do. So you got 5.
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
So there's your 2.
The third one would be like if you're just a whack person.
I mean, that's general. Some people are just whack people.
Right.
Like, just throw that out. Like, because, and like, it sucks that like whack people ruin it for everybody else. Because it always is the few that ruin it for the many. And it's like, some people are just whack people.
Right.
Like, so, but there's that.
4 I would, or 2
2
would be, I found something out from the homies.
Oh, so like your dirt got uncovered.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
And there was always a lot of that. Like, you see,
don't ever let nobody.
The situation where you walk up like, oh, what's going on? What you
doing, homie? Oh,
yeah.
I'm just glad you're happy, bro.
Right.
Like, oh,
no. I was a real homie. Like, yo, let me holler at you.
When she's just like, where's the bathroom? And she goes up there, you'd be like, yo, fam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know right now. Like, I don't know if you've gotten in the skins or whatever, but like once you do, out just like a thief in the night, you take your teeth to bite. You think of life, I'm thinking more like, what's up tonight? Like I say, keep it moving.
Which leads me to number 1. You have achieved the ultimate goal of what you set out to, and you're like, I have no other reason to be here.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call that, that's usually typical reasons that my coming up have led to ghosting.
Okay. I think
and don't get it messed up because like
women ghost and men ghost.
Savages.
Like that, it goes both ways. Like you said, you've been ghosted. I've been ghosted before, and I've ghosted before.
Oh yeah, and there's been mutual ghosting.
Yeah,
like
it's just like
I ghosted me. I thought I ghosted you, and we saw each other in the mall. Like, hey, what up?
like when you go to like leave, like you kind of do like the weird hug thing. You're like, oh, like I don't know if I should kiss it. It's like, yeah, I'm not coming back here.
Right.
and she's just like, I hope you don't come back here.
Right. Right.
I first want to point out, like, I feel like we're mostly talking about like actual adults in dating too, because it's like I feel like from like when you do your high school dating and college dating and stuff like that, it's like people just get ghosted all the time because it's just like your attention span just isn't there like that. But I think the number one reason is people don't like accountability. And it's just like I don't want to instead of me like literally telling you hey, I don't think that this is going to work out, and it's because, and it's like, first of all, nobody likes the it's not you, it's me type of deal.
I have a whack analogy. Can I try it?
Let me hear this whack analogy.
Everybody wants a tuna sandwich, but nobody wants to mix all the right ingredients.
It was a whack analogy. You're right. You weren't lying. That was a whack analogy. I'm about to fall. Come on. No, but it's just like, like, because I think, especially like in the talking stages, expectations are different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's like, some people are just like, yo, I want to date. And like that, by dating, that means I'm going to go around and sleep with as many people as I can. Whoever's got like the best stuff, or like whoever is giving me what I need. And they're also dope personally. That's just the one that I'll stick with. Some people are seeing more than one person, something like that. Like other people just have different priorities. And so like, that's that.
And I think some of the stuff that's different too is like in the come up when I was, mingling still, like the whole thoughting thing wasn't popular. No. You know what I mean? Like you had
city girls ramped it up. It was always
those
there.
Type of women that were around, but like it wasn't like this is cool to be acting like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like it was weird. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But what you call it? Like, so like I said, like the lack of accountability thing is like,
we didn't ask about body counts either. That's also weird. It's like,
what do you mean?
Like,
first of all, I feel like girls always ask about body counts. Guys never want to talk about body counts unless they're only asking the girl what the body count is because they never want to tell theirs. Because like whatever the girls is, they're gonna be like, she lying.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you're never gonna be honest. Like I literally had that conversation one time, and I was like, this was so whack. I'm never gonna have this conversation again.
Yeah,
never gonna have this conversation.
I mean, any grown man wouldn't have this conversation.
I was still a teenager. It's like I never want to have this conversation again. Like this was so terrible. Like there's nothing but lying happening here.
There's gonna be like one person that like you guys cross-reference, and you're like, you seriously went there, and you're like, I don't even care about this girl. Right. I can't believe we're talking about this right now.
Mind you, a couple conversations like you asking this question just so you can get there. Like you're lying because I know you did it. What? So why didn't you just say that? Why
Stop trying to trap me and stuff because I want to see if you were lying.
Right, leave me alone. Now y'all got something to talk about.
Because both of y'all gonna be alone. I ain't gonna be here.
Right. I'm gone.
But like, so like I said, like the accountability piece is like, it's really tough sometimes to sit across from a person and be like, you're not what I'm looking for. Like you're dope, but it's like, you're not my type of dope. Especially like after you smash and if the sex is whack, to honestly sit across from somebody and be like, yo, honestly, like all this other stuff is dope, but it's like, you kind of whack into that type of deal. Cause like nobody does that.
No,
like that's like a psychopath does stuff like that. So it's like it's just a lot easier to just not talk to you anymore. Right. And it's like it's only that much easier in the digital age because like all I gotta do is press 5 buttons and I never hear from you no more.
Bro, I had a kid at work today.
Oh man,
that did not know how to write a letter to break up with his shorty. So he had somebody else write it so he can deliver it. I'm like, fam, why are they writing a letter for you? He's like, some of these words I just ain't good with. I'm like, fam,
all of them?
You need to right. The whole letter got written for you, bro. Like, what's going on?
It's your name, bro. You can't write that.
Right, right. Well, I mean, like, say for me, like, I think you make a good point about accountability, but also like this day and age, people like they're so scared to get broken.
Yeah.
That they don't want to show any vulnerability.
Rejection is hard.
So half
rejection
the time,
is tough.
I'm not even talking about rejection. I'm talking about like just like if you do find somebody that you feel like could be the somebody, people they always leaving something in the cut. Like, I'm not going to give you all of me. It's like, just in case. I want to be able to keep something that you ain't touched in case I need to give it to the next person. It's like, but if you have in your mindset on this being it, just give it all.
But I think that's it though. Is like a lot of people don't have it set where this is it. Like everybody's always looking for the grass is always greener, or like what's going on here. Like, oh, this is cool, but if something else dope comes along, like this is what I'm gonna hop to.
And what I get from that is this: you are not happy with yourself, and you're trying to find someone who fills the void for both them and you, that has to do two jobs, and you're gonna end up driving that person crazy, and they're gonna leave you before you leave them.
You might have just dropped something there. You should have left that whack analogy back there. You should have just said that. Like, that was fire. That would have been Raisinet.
You can't be married for almost 17 of those and not know this stuff. Like, this is my bag right here. Like, I don't have no problem helping y'all out. All I'm saying is, like, when I say something and that joint sting, don't be in the comments, because we ain't had many comments. We had some, but now the joint gonna be lit up. Like, what are you talking about?
But that's what we want, right? It's like we want more topics. We want more things to talk about. And like, we want to hear both sides.
That's trying to change the whole name of this show, the heavyweight loving bros. Like, I'm messing around and keep y'all up out of here, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Did you just find the name of this segment, the heavyweight lovers?
The heavyweight
got nothing but love for you, Saturday. Got nothing but love for a heavy D song.
Heavyweight love hour. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, so I'll just speak from my personal preference, like, because like every marriage is not always the best 100% of the time. Even when I see people get married, I always tell them the same thing. And any married couple that knows me can attest to that. I always say, get through your rookie year. As long as you get through your rookie year, everything else will be fine. You know what I mean? Because a lot of stuff gets uncracked in that first rookie year. And if you can get through that, you can get through anything. But it takes having the tough conversations. Like, if you're not going to be open and honest with the person that you plan on spending the rest of your life with, then why the heck are you trying to spend the rest of your life with someone else? They should know every single thing about you. Every single thing about you. You know your vulnerabilities. They know your pet peeves. They know your likes, your dislikes, the people that they hang around with that you don't like and do like all that stuff matters. And the less that you talk about stuff, the more likely you are to be one of those memes where, like, this is how my girl act when she upset. You don't know that I'm mad? No, I don't, because we don't talk to each other. Bang, bang.
I feel like you turned this pod to a communication pod, and it's like, that's got to be something that comes down, because I got a lot to say about that one right there.
Hey, go ahead.
It's like, no, you drop bombs there, and I feel like there's not really much more to say on that. Like, I can only speak for myself, and it's like, why have I ghosted people? And some people aren't worth the energy of having that conversation of like the whatchamacallit. It's just like, hey, like, I saw a lot of the things that I needed to see, and it's like, I didn't like it, and I just know, hold up. Have you ever tried to break up with somebody or tried to like stop talking to somebody and they just wouldn't let you do it? Where they're just like, no, but like, you don't understand, and like, you gotta do this, and you're just like, this, like, you don't, like, no, like, I'm trying to go, and they're like, no, but like, let's give it another shot. It's like, oh, I was off, and like, I was this and stuff like that, and it's just like,
so you remember that little medicine pill phone Nokia that with the little antenna that I told you about?
Yeah,
there was no face on there. There was, like, you can send a bunch of messages, I can ignore them, you can call a bunch of times, like, ghosted. This is buried.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why people get ghosted. It's like, I just know that like this because like I would say like more often than not, I do have the conversation. It's like, hey, like I don't like these things that I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if we wanted to go further, like, I feel like either we need to talk about some sort of compromise or some sort of change. And then it's like, do you feel or see the same thing? But it's like, I only do those to the ones that I feel worthy of like having like the second or something. Like
there is no relationship without compromise.
Yes. But like, I'm just saying is like, some people just ain't worth the time. It's almost like, think about like at work too. Like, there's some people that like you want to tell off and like you want to do this stuff too. And it's like, you're not even worth it because you're not even gonna be here next year or like something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, hey, like, I'm gonna let you do you. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people like that in your life, like all the way around, where it's just like, you know what? Do whatever you gonna do, because it's just not for me. And it's like the ghosting is just easier. I'm not a blocker or nothing like that, but I am like a guru of not picking up texts and calls. So I take it out right now. It's just like, I saw it. Didn't bother me none. Right.
Yes. I mean, like I said, you can't be willing to give somebody. You can't be willing to ask somebody for something you're not willing to give.
I do want to say though, like one of the things that my friend pointed out is she was specifically talking about when you first start a relationship, and it's like you have like the first week or two, and it's like things are going really smooth, and then like stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they just ghost. And I think that kind of speaks to what you were talking about before, is like you started to see some things that you didn't like, but I think it more is you were kind of like a placeholder until this thing that I wanted opened up, and now the thing that I wanted opened up, and it's like that's where I'm gonna go. And
or
rather
something
than
I already had is on a break, and now it's been mended, and now I need to hurry up and
my toxic ex finally picked up, and it's like she's like she's done doing her own thing, whatever. That's probably more often than not. Is like
Euphoria.
I feel like that's more often than not what it is somebody was on a break or like whatever it is. And then now this thing opened back up and it's just like, and
Benny, no call, no show, 5 days this week, man. He just got hired here. That brother had 2 interviews. And you was the first one to hire him and that other one paid more. And now he kept it moving.
Yeah, now we're back to fire analogies, bro. Now we're back to fire. This is the type of stuff that I'm asking for.
I'm in my bag.
That's what I'm talking about.
My bag.
I will say this, like fellas and ladies, if your relationship has gone more than let's say 2 weeks. Is 2 weeks fair enough?
Okay.
And it's like you've spent the night, you guys have had the dates, you guys have had some sex. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Deliver it like that.
Because like I feel like I've been using like PG words for this whole time.
I feel like 2 weeks is not enough time.
It's not enough time?
I feel like 2 weeks.
Let me finish. Can I finish?
Colleagues. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Sorry, my bad.
So like 2 weeks, like if you guys have, you've had sex, you've had the dates, you've had conversations, you've been in contact, you've been over each other's houses, and if you've done that stuff, if you decided it's not for you, man up or like nut up, whatever the terminology you want to use, is like just have the conversation.
Right.
Like it's like I know it's tough to like, like let somebody down and like, but it's like it's really the adult thing to do, because then it's like
what's gonna happen is they're gonna be mad at you in the moment, and you're gonna be the dirtbag.
Yep.
And they're gonna respect the decision that you made as they move on to something else. But if you don't break it off and you ghost the person, you're going to be a dirtbag every day that person sees or hears about you. And then you become the visual dirtbag for anybody else that they have a conversation with about you. And now people have formed this opinion or ideology of who you are without even really getting to know you. So basically it all boils down to not damaging your integrity.
Thank you. Because I think that's 100% what it is. Because like that's one of the worst parts of breakups is like the unknowns. And it's like, I swear, like, I know that he's doing this. I know that she's doing that. Like, she only did this because, like, she's still talking to this man. But, like, when you eliminate the mystery and you're just like, hey, like, listen, like, this was going cool. Like, I really, liked what we got going on. But it's like, I can't lie. Like, my baby mom wants to get back together. Like, she's the love of my life. And, like, that's where I'm going. As much as like I like what we're doing here, like I need to get back to my family. And it's like that eliminates, like she's still gonna be mad. Whoever that person is gonna be mad, because you ain't about to tell me that like this other person better than me and stuff like that. But it's like when you leave, like when I go to talk to my friends, like I'm not gonna be like, yo, like he just did some whack stuff or she just did some whack stuff and she's only doing this. It's like I'm gonna be like, yo, can you believe it just left me for her baby father? And they'll be like, yeah. It's like, like I understand. Yes. And we all knew that that's what was going to happen.
A whole human being together. Souls are intertwined like grandma's knitted scarf.
And it's like I said, like you'll be mad, but it's like you don't do the thing where it's like you on their IG, like checking their stories and like doing all this stuff to try to figure out what they're doing. And it's like, oh, like now he's going out, but we could have went out.
Don't be a creep. Don't be a creep.
But hey, that's the love segment, I guess. That's the heavyweight lovers. We calling it for right now.
We'll see what happens.
I think we got some good stuff out of there. What do you think?
Oh yeah, the comment section's about to light up.
Every lady that I hit up too, I was like, hey, thanks for your suggestion. Now you got to watch that joint. So like, I want to hear what you say about it.
Hey, does Raisinet personal sessions? I sure do. Come on over. Me and my wife will meet you and your significant other. We got you. $39.95 a minute.
That's how you cheat. Oh, minute. Like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Nah, we'll work out a deal rate, man. If you do a whole hour, man, we'll work something out, man. We got you.
This is this landlord slumlord talk right now. Like
it's unsanctioned marriage counseling. We got you.
All right. So like, I know you did your Raisinet already. Do you have a cultural gem?
One thing I stay with is one of those.
I don't know, because like the way that you swallowed that ice cube, I thought you were gonna be like, oh snap, the cultural gem. That's what it looked like.
I gotta keep going. Well, I get the cultural gem. Let's make sure to give a shout out to the boy
Young King. You know what I'm saying? Out there on IG, YouTube, SoundCloud. Go check him out. Doing the intro. You know what I'm saying? Big thanks.
Is that a Pop voice?
Is that a what?
Pop Smoke voice?
Does it sound like Pop Smoke?
You're saying I will make it a Pop Smoke voice.
I tweaked my T.I. voice. That's really what that was. Like, yeah, man, T.I. Triple Gang. Okay. I just gotta like morph it a little bit.
All right, so I want your help with this one.
Okay.
All right, because I wrote 3 down.
3?
They all gems.
Okay.
They'll all happen still in the next 3 shows, but I'm trying to be undecided on which one to go with right now.
And last week was The Wood?
The Wood.
Okay.
Yes. So we got this one.
Uh-huh.
We got this one.
Okay.
And you know what these initials stand for?
No, I don't. I figured it out very quickly.
Okay. I'm assuming that's the one you want to go with.
So that's easily the best movie there. I think you put them in order of like best to worst.
Okay, there we go.
So,
all right. So this week we're gonna go with none other than
I was like, what movie is this?
I was gonna say Billy Hoyle. None other than Billy Hoyle, Sidney Dean, which is Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes and White Man Can't Jump. This one popped on.
You're not gonna talk about Rosie Perez in there? Not gonna throw her like you're not gonna give her top billing in this movie.
Listen, you can put in Rosie Perez.
It's the Stookie Brothers.
The Stookie Brothers.
Run, Billy!
Right. He was like, I'm going to my car, get my other gun, shoot all you fools.
Who was that?
I don't know. Rasheed Wallace.
Former Milwaukee Bucks superstar Marcus Johnson.
He was a basketball player?
Yeah, it was Marcus Johnson.
Yo, that is crazy.
I come back. Everybody get shot.
Yo, for real. So this movie came out in 92.
Wow, I was 3.
92. You can watch this on Hulu, YouTube, as always. Voodoo.
I was gonna say Voodoo got it,
and Amazon Prime. The reason this movie popped into my head, not to get off base or anything, and then I'll describe the movie for those who may not have already seen it. But there was a gentleman walking around the school with a pair of flights on, and it wasn't the same color, but it looked like the same shoe that Billy Hoyle used to ball in White Man Can't Jump. So I gave him the rundown of the sneaker and everything. The dude was like, "Mister, why do you know so much about this?" I was like, "It's my era, son." He was like,
"It's crazy to me, like things that I don't care about that a lot of people notice. Like I always talk about it when we go to someone's house that like I've only been to once. They're like, "Oh, what's their car look like?" And I'm like, I could not tell you like what anybody's car is.
My wife's a license plate person.
Yeah.
When you see 2 cars, I'm like, oh, that's so and so. No, it's not. Wrong license plate. Like, what?
And it's just like I could not tell you what anybody's make and model is. I'm like, their car black, their car red, and stuff like that. And it's like I do not pay attention to anybody's shoes ever. Like I feel like unless they got on some really, really fly something or like something that really, really pops, like otherwise it's like you could be wearing nothing to me. And it's like everybody's wearing fake J's at the time. Anyways, so it's like I'm just like, okay. And they're always like, "Mister, like that's why you got Pumas on your feet." And I'm like, these joints cost $26. Like I do not care about what I'm wearing on my feet. My feet hurt, bro. Like what are you talking about? Like I don't care.
I bought these because my Dr. Soul's fit.
Yeah, like I was just saying, like these are orthopedic shoes.
Yeah, so White Man Can't Jump. Iconic movie, stars Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. And basically
Rosie Perez,
who plays the girlfriend of Woody Harrelson in the movie. And basically it's 2 guys who end up meeting each other on the basketball court because they both use the game of basketball to hustle people out of their money. So they play pickup games, they bet funds on it. They play in a number of different tournaments, but there's a lot of small, intricate stories within and outside and around the basketball games that just shows you how people are living life and the connections that are made through the living of life and the losses that you get and some of the stances on which people are willing to take to support the ones that they love.
Man, that's quite the description. Yeah. Isn't it weird how the Jeopardy thing is kind of thrown in there? It's one of the segments in the movie
that start with a letter Q.
Like quince, quill. I've been studying this father, Billy. No,
what is a quiche? Yo, what I was mad about was like, I want you to take some of my winnings and go get you a suit. Why was your first check already cashed and in a jar by the bed?
Oh my god.
Yo, listen. All right, watch. This is a good one. This is a gem for those who have seen it. Watch it again. For those who haven't seen it, make sure you do so.
The 90s was a great time for movies in general. Like there's a lot of like coming of age movies. There's a lot of superstars that came out of there.
Yes.
This movie gets lost in the shuffle quite a bit.
Yes.
But I think it's one of the best movies that came out of the 90s. And I think it's one of the best sports movies of all time.
I was about to say, there's no other movie that this movie has been compared to or has this same type of like.
Well, like, I mean, it's a buddy cop movie, but they're just playing basketball.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just Rush Hour on a basketball court.
Yes.
This is Lethal Weapon.
But nobody else has tried to do it. And I think that's another thing to say for the 90s is there was a lot of like startup ideas that happened in the 90s that a lot of people are just like redoing or taking and paying homage to and from. So it's kind of like,
you know why that is, right?
Yeah. Why?
You said yeah.
Yeah, because everything that happened in the 90s was created by 80s babies.
You almost had it. I thought you were gonna get there. It's because in the late 80s was the rise and the birth of hip hop. So we started to get the hip hop influence on movies, and like, who's more creative and more interesting than Black people? So when they started doing Black people movies, that's why these became the most interesting movies out there, and that's why they keep trying to take Black people ideas and put them into movies, but they don't want to put the Black stars in them. And that's why they had to put him next to Woody Harrelson, because they couldn't give Wesley Snipes the top billing on this movie, right? Even though he does a majority of the movie. I'm just saying that's just why these movies are the way that they are.
It's definitely not a movie without him in it. Oh, what's the name is in it too?
Ooh.
Dwayne Wayne from A Different World.
Oh yeah, yes he is. He whatchamacallit. He's like he's kind of like the bookie.
He's
almost.
Wesley Snipes' homie.
Yeah.
He used to play ball with before he starts playing with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. But he holds the money.
Yes.
No. The fat boy holds the money because we know we gonna get away.
He ain't going nowhere. The baker ain't going.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. But
But
he's like he's the hype man for the most part. He hypes up the thing. He's like, oh, that's how you gonna do 200? You gonna let him talk to you like that? Right. He said your mama did it. Like that's all he's gonna do.
We go and see Sizzler.
We go and see Sizzler. I never knew what Sizzler was at the time. I was like, I want to go to Sizzler. Sizzler sounds so good. I still have never been.
Never been.
Somebody told me it was just like Bickford's. I was like, oh, I still kind of like
a buffet style of Red Lobster or something. I still don't know, but yeah.
Someone in the comments, please tell us what Sizzler is, because like we missed it apparently.
Definitely gonna be an OG. It's gonna be my pop. Sizzler.
You ain't never been to Sizzler. That's where I met your mama.
All right,
that's how I showed her I have money. We went to the Sizzler.
I'm all at y'all.